So this is the pantry in my dining room, and it really doesn't make sense that this is a pantry. On my second channel, I made a video explaining why it doesn't make sense and my thought process as far as designing what it will be. If you want to see that video, it's linked in the description below. So today I'm going to convert this into a hall closet, and the first step is to obviously get everything out of it. So I've got all the wire racks out, and whoever was in here last apparently had some difficulties because most of these are all crushed into the wall and have caulking behind them, or this one down here has got some construction adhesive holding it in place. So getting all these out is going to tear this up quite a bit. And then also, I know the last owner laid this laminate flooring over whatever floor was down below, but they never put quarter round down here to trim off the inside. And this whole thing is in need of a paint job anyway. So I'm gonna go get some quarter round, patch the holes, and then paint this because I doubt I'm ever gonna be at this position again. Painting is extremely boring, and watching me paint is even more boring.
Hello.
I used brad nails to gently hold everything together, and now I'm marking the location for screw holes. This is going to be in a fixed location, hanging from one spot and then secured to one wall. There's not going to be any lateral forces or very minimal lateral forces on this thing, so I don't need mortise and tenon or dovetail type joinery strength. Just regular screws, no glue, will be plenty strong enough for this application. I just ripped a piece of plywood on a 45-degree angle and then cut it to length at the miter saw. And this is because I just changed my mind and I'm going to hang the cabinet with a French cleat. But first, I need to modify the back section of the cabinet just slightly. I've rotated the camera 90 degrees so that this is the cabinet, this is the back wall. And the way a French cleat works is you have a cleat attached to the cabinet with a matching angle of a cleat attached to the wall. And what this allows is, as the cabinet is slid over this cleat, gravity will pull it down and hook over the cleat on the wall and make a nice secure connection. In order for me to do this on this particular cabinet here, I need to remove some material on the side. And to do so, I'm going to position this so that it is 3/4 of an inch down from the top, because I do have a top shelf inside there. And then this piece will be secured inside the cabinet. And how far do I want to make the opening over here? Just to err on the side of caution, I'm going to go a full 7 inches. So I can push this back to here. And then, yeah, that looks good. That'll give me enough leeway to set the cabinet down on top of this cleat and then let gravity do the rest of the work holding it in place. But I do need to remove enough material to come out to right here. So, all of this needs to be removed on both sides, and if that doesn't make sense, it will in just a little bit. A French cleat makes hanging large items extremely easy. I just need to mount this piece onto the wall inside the cabinet at the appropriate height. These cutouts allow me to push the cabinet all the way up against the wall and then with gravity drop it down on top of the hook, and then it's not going anywhere. Way easier than trying to hold this cabinet in place and then secure it to the wall. So that fits in there nice and neat, and you know what? I don't even need to secure it to the wall on the left. It is very sturdy as it is. And I went ahead and put 2 coats of white paint on the inside and finished up that quarter round. I do have some dust I need to clean up on the floor, but that's fine. So now, the moment of truth. Will all of my stuff that I planned on putting in here fit in here? This is a big time mission success in my opinion. I'm very pleased with the way that it turned out. It was a simple solution that is going to be very beneficial long term going forward. Now I do want to point out, in the design video I mentioned having a coat rack on the back side of this door. It is something that I'm going to do. However, I just drove around town for like 30 minutes and couldn't find one, so I'm not going to waste any more time there. When I find one, I'll install it. But I'm going to get the metal ones that hang over the top, and I had a lot of suggestions to clip off the piece of metal that is on the outside of the door and then just drill through the top and secure it that way. That's the route I'm going to go. Figured I'd throw that in there. But everything is working as it should. There's no obstructions to use anything. Now I use the broom, mop, and vacuum cleaner at the same time. My wife and I, every Monday after she gets home from work, we clean up the house completely. But there's no obstruction. You can get to each one of these individually if you wanted to. However, like I said, we use all three at the same time. I'm very pleased with the way that this turned out, and I know my wife will be very pleased. So happy wife, happy life. And speaking of Happy wife. I've got to get this mess cleaned up before she gets home. And if this is your first time here, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next video. Check out my second channel for some behind the scenes weekly updates. And if you want to see some more organization solutions like this one, then be sure to check out these two videos I have on the screen. You guys take care, have a great day, and I'll talk to you next time.